Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Quarantine Championship. I am your host, Julio Trachtenberg, and with me, as always, patio furniture and assorted others, including the swole nerd truth and the ghost of Christmas past.
One of those is me, right? I'll be the swole nerd truth. That sounds befitting.
Yeah, kind of a little bit.
Because I'm so swole.
So swole. Big swole.
And so humble.
Yeah. Yes, humble is the word that comes to mind when I think of Cole McCray.
Oh man, I'm so humble.
Anyways, Byron, Derksen, Michael Magas, Cole McCray here with action from Bilster Berg. This is the second ESR event ever from the mini Nordschleife. And the first with GT3 cars. This is the 3D Speed Wednesday series finale, last round of the season. Two races at all.
What does the championship look like today?
Well, Mike Stoppmills won the Drivers' Championship because he does that.
Seems inappropriate.
Guillermo Martinez more or less has won the AM standings as well, but the team's title is still up for grabs between The Bad Company and Project Zora and MMR Land. So there is that to play for. And a heated battle for second place in the AM standings between Ayrton Tobin and myself, Michael Magas.
In Project Zora, you do not ask questions.
So there are things still up for grabs, even if the overall hardware is not. Mike Stoppmill in first place, Ariel Zatoni, Paul Riccobeni, Simeon Naku, Dan Bach, Zoltan Kalmundi, your top AM driver, Luciano Ichazo, Douglas DeGroat, 8th place, kicking ass.
Yeah, good showing.
Moly Moly and Brandon Powell, your top 10. I don't think that changes as it goes down to the wire here. But you can see the rest of the field there. These, of course, are the ever-famous GT3 cars. And I think, unfortunately, I did make a mistake recording this and didn't have Portal team names on. So we will have to identify people's teams by memory as opposed to the video telling us it.
So you're saying you were
consider
not
it a
thinking of
final
portals?
exam of sorts as commentators.
I think we can handle it.
I don't know, man. Have you seen me try to get John Peach's name right?
Yeah, but you're bad about that anyways. I don't think the portal would help you.
Yeah, if I were you, I would just stick to last names.
Nah.
I mean, we've also established Cole is bad at gender of the drivers, which was pretty funny.
But okay, anyway. I've never heard that name before, so that's my excuse, and I'm sticking with it.
That's a poor excuse.
You have failed your gender studies exam.
Well, that's okay, because I never took one of those.
Here we go. We got red lights, red lights, red lights. We need to go. Can we get a go?
Stop!
Can we get greens? There we go.
Green.
We're off.
There we go.
And Simeon Naku with his trademark really not great start.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if there was a glitch when the next green light just never... Oh, my goodness.
Oh, Dan Bach around in turn 1.5.
Dan Bach is around in the background. That's going to hurt the Bad Company's chances of trying to secure a top 2 spot in the team championship. Mike Stoppmill is out in front ahead of Ariel Zatoni, Paul Riccobeni, Simeon Naku, and Sultan Kalmundi, your top 5. Douglas DeGroat up to 6th place. He got a good start. Luciano Ichazo, Guillermo Martinez, Ayrton Tobin, and Moly Mole, your top 10.
So, Dan Bach finding himself in 26th. I guess that makes sense considering that it was the start of the race, so you kind of got to wait for everyone to go by. But
exactly. In fact, I'm surprised he's not dead last, but he's managed to rejoin ahead of the Amigos.
Well, he already made up one against Walsh. He'll probably make some of that up pretty easily. He's been a pretty strong driver, especially at these smaller tracks.
Not a lot of overtaking opportunities at Bilster Berg, though, so that mistake could be a big deal. Paul Riccobeni also dropping back as he has spun around. This is a very, very difficult track for those unfamiliar with it. It's not really thin. It's not really a track you'll see in a lot of games because it's not.
Which is a damn shame.
It's not the home to any series to speak of, which definitely makes it a bit of a problem to incorporate it. More of a private track day, a country club track, as it were. Douglas DeGroat up to 5th place.
Well, it's a damn shame considering it's such a. It's by far my favorite of all the Tilke tracks. definitely doesn't get enough attention. Very smooth and flowing in a lot of ways.
Yeah, but I can imagine a lot of cars having a very difficult time with this track, and I'm not really sure it would produce the greatest of racing, so it's a bit of a weird one in that regard. Like, I was kind of referring to it as almost a mini Nordschleife to a degree,
Yeah,
but it doesn't
twisty.
have the overtaking opportunities of the Nordschleife.
Oh, McCray going off in the background there.
Indeed.
What a
Ayrton
slut.
Tobin up on the back of
The slut
Moly
is.
Moly and Brandon Powell behind him, so an all Porsche fight here. Although a couple of Audis behind them, Javier Perez Torres and Michael Magas. Up front, it is basically Mike Stoppmill and Ariel Zattoni pulling away. Simeon Naku does not seem to be able to stay with them. That's a very large gap already. And he's got Zoltan Kalmandi and Douglas DeGroat for company. The two amateur drivers battling for AM victory here today. And it looks like Ariel might be dropping back from Stoppmill. Maybe a bit of a mistake. I saw some dust implicating someone may have hit some dirt.
So it looks like our timing is kind of resolved itself a little bit.
Indeed,
at least somewhat accurate.
The most recent update seems to have fixed a lot of the timing. Of course, we're getting more staggered timing. You can see it's only updating every so often, which also means that the latency goes down, which is really nice. So
yeah,
I'm appreciating the most recent version of the race director tool. No,
Zoltan Kalmandi goes around and noses in. Oh.
Sultan
that is a pretty tricky
goes
turn
around,
exit
and that's going to be a difficult rejoin for him as well.
He likes to go back and just take a breather.
Not necessarily a bad idea.
No, not at all.
Let the red mist clear. Javier Perez Torres into the top 10. Just looking down the grid, Dan Box up to 21st place, although fighting with Alfonso Chacon, which is, I could say from personal experience, not the most fun experience of your life. Looking there, Zoltan Kalmandi's rejoined in 19th by the looks of it, and Douglas DeGroat up in 4th place, Academy driver on the charge.
Yeah, great showing from Mr. DeGroat. Although I'm kind of surprised that Richard Hakes is all the way back in 13th. I was a little bit shocked when I saw that.
I don't think he qualified very high, if memory serves, and he is, of course, one of those Corvette C7s, which we have made fun of for their lack of ability to get off the line properly.
Yeah, that's a good point. Also probably would struggle a little bit in this pretty tight, kind of twisty course.
I think it'd be okay. I think.
Well, certainly, but compared to...
honestly, I don't really think that there's a tremendous car preference to this track, actually. I was saying that before the race, that I think each one of them will struggle in their own way, effectively.
Fair enough. Mike Magas hot on the tail of Javier Perez Torres, making him look on the inside of, was that turn 12, but not quite having the momentum to make it through.
Alright, meantime, Stoppmill is kind of disappearing. He's up about 4 seconds on Zattoni. Man,
I'm shocked.
I was really hoping that Ariel, with his no ballast, would be able to make Stoppmill work for this one, but it doesn't look like we're going to get our wish in that regard.
Looks like the top two are going to be pretty much all alone.
I'm gonna fire up Trackmania and make a track that has the most amount of turns possible.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna be doing it for a while.
Mr. Bones Wild Grand Prix.
Brandon Powell at some point has overtaken Ayrton Tobin. We didn't see that on screen. Yeah. He's up to 8th place, of course. Bad company teammates. Maybe some Team Warners in play there.
I was gonna say, if I remember correctly, I think Ayrton led off and let Brandon by.
Looks like we might have lost Dixon Hurst from the race, just judging by that gap. We'll see.
Brandon Powell getting a little bit squirrely on that turn exit there, but holding it together quite nicely.
There's Javier. Javier's got a little bit of breathing room from Mike Magas, who's now under pressure from Cole McCray. So possibly an attempt by Magas to get an overtake done did not work out.
As you said earlier, there are not too many ideal overtaking opportunities, and we see that very intimately with all these cars bunched up behind slightly, whether it be slower or equally fast cars. We get very long trains going at times, which, is racing. That's how it is.
I would like to say that DeGroat and Naku have formed a very very good-looking combo of ice cream flavors right there.
What, is Naku, what is he, mint? Is he like toothpaste flavor?
I don't know, maybe it's a little peppermint action. I don't know. Maybe it's bubble gum.
Birthday cake?
Oh!
Is that
Douglas
DeGroat?
DeGroot is off at the side of the road.
Oh, shit.
I was going to say that is definitely him because the other pink Audi is not present today. That would be Max Simmons.
So, and all of a sudden, the three up front are finding themselves alone.
Pretty much. Guillermo Martinez is quietly picking up a great result here in 4th place at the moment. But this is a track that can definitely bite you without warning, to be honest, between the sausage curves and the heavy elevation changes.
Don't get me started on those sausage curves. Ugh.
Indeed.
So many suspensions destroyed.
Indeed. Javier Perez-Torres up in 9th place, hoping his internet connection and computer work out for him today. Oh, Ayrton Tobin off track. Cole McCray off track.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Looks like Cole just tried to dodge Ayrton a little bit. And
looks like Cole's lost his rear end. And Michael Magas with a bit of a run there on Javier, but nothing doing at the moment. He has overtaken Ayrton Tobin, which is key because him and Tobin are fighting over that 2nd place in the amateur standings. Here is Luciano Ichazo looking to make a statement of things. He's had a quiet day, but he's up into 5th position. 2 Corvettes in the top 5. Although, to be honest, that's the assistance of Paul Riccobeni's problems, Dan Bach's problems, Douglas DeGroat's problems. So it's been a problem-filled race so far. Zoltan Kalmandi was up there, and he's not there now. And I think we could safely say Dixon Hurtis is indeed done, as he is 2 laps down to Toby Howard, and I believe he is out of this race.
No.
One thing I've kind of been surprised about the check. Oh, looks like is that Toby Howard? Looks like probably.
That is either Toby Howard or John Picha off the track. One of the 3 amigos.
Ooh, Paul Riccobeni getting held up by Alfonso Chacon.
I mean, that is not a place you want to be on this track behind Alfonso Chacon.
Yeah, definitely not. And of course, Paul Riccobeni is getting absolutely punished for his again. Oh, really sideways.
Saved it.
Very nice. Oh, looks like what is
Douglas
that?
DeGroat is backwards again.
That looked like it might have been tangled up with Toby Howard.
Might be. Douglas
I think I saw a white
had
Mercedes.
Had a great day going for him, and now he's back in 22nd place. And that's not where you want to be.
It is a great day for hay.
Quick shout out to some guys having a really good day. One of them is this man. Oh,
Mauricio
Delgado into
hot
the wall.
Hot on the heels of Wayne Hutchison.
I was going to say him and Scott Greenfield having a really good day. That is still true of Scott. It's still kind of true of Mauricio, depending on how damaged his car is.
Gotta say, while it might not make for the greatest passing, this track is making for some great commentary. There are very few cars outside of more than a second from the next guy up.
Very tightly packed field. The only real gap, well, a couple of gaps growing. Stop Hill quite a ways up. Simeon Duku is nowhere near Zatomi, so he's pretty much on his own. But outside of that, there's a bit of a break back around 15th place. Cole McCray is about 6 seconds off of Mauricio Delgado. But yeah, things are pretty quiet, pretty tight throughout the field. Which,
and as you know, I like a nice tight thing.
I would say if we could have more overtaking opportunities, would lead us to a very exciting predicament, but unfortunately that's not generally the case. Dan Bach and Wesley Stokes, a pair of Porsches that are very out of position right now.
Looks like Dan Bach's about to be even more out of position. That car does not look happy.
Yeah,
is that Riccobeni?
That is either Riccobeni. It's yeah, you're right. That is Kalmandi. I was gonna say it is one of the yellow Mercedeses. We have 3 of them, and that is indeed Zoltan.
Richard Higgs making a pass on Ayrton Tobin.
Getting past Ayrton Tobin, one of the few overtaking spots on the track.
Making me eat my words after I commented on his position earlier.
He is up to 9th place.
Commentator's curse.
Cursing yourself, I guess.
I guess it's a reverse curse.
Yeah, it's the reverse curse, yeah. So it's the boon of the commentary team doubting your abilities. Brandon Powell up on the tail of Moly Moly, still in the background there is Michael Magas. I've noticed Javier Perez-Torres has disappeared
He's in
from the top
26th
10,
place.
and I do see him down 26. So something
Yeah, bad
has
wreck, probably.
happened to him. Brandon Powell overtakes Moly Moly and is up into 6th place. Also, if you've not seen the feedback form for the upcoming 3D Speed season, please check that out. We're looking to figure out what our format and so on is going to be for the upcoming season. And
Monster
everyone
trucks.
is welcome to have their input on that. If there were monster trucks, it would be an option, but there are not.
Wobble, wobble, wow, wow. You should just play Euro Truck Simulator and get real competitive with it.
That'd be interesting.
The real battle is to not flip over. Oh,
Whoa,
Douglas disqualified.
from pit lane. Talk about a bad day for
Yeah, I was
Doug
gonna
DeGroot.
say.
I don't think I've seen a race go quite that badly for someone who was doing so very, very well.
He wasn't dealt aces so much as he was dealt the 2 and a joker. I don't know what.
Correct.
That could have gone much worse.
Yeah, a very, very disappointing day for him. As Paul Riccobetti's up to 15th place, so he's on the charge for him
Has
to
to be
maybe make some moves.
Forgive me for if I'm wrong, but wouldn't that have to be a very substantial speeding penalty in
It
order
would
to get
have to be
disqualified?
because you would normally just get a drive-through penalty.
That's what I was thinking. So he must have totally missed the line or something.
Indeed. But what is done is done. So he joins Dixon Hurst on the watching bench, the spectator pile. Johnny Major, we haven't talked about him at all. He's up on the tail of Alfonso Chacon, which means we're going to be talking about him getting frustrated a lot, probably.
He
Yeah, I
may be
believe
in
it.
for some chicanery.
And you kind of just saw why there. Chacon really just kind of,
Although-
not for any particular reason, pulled across Major there. I'm not really sure why.
Dan Bach could actually be maybe looking to gain a spot if Chacon holds Major up too much. Oh,
That
Toby
would
Howard
help.
having a nice slide in the background there.
Luciano Ichazo still on the tail of
Looks like he
Guillermo
might have spun out.
Martinez.
Looks like
Oh, I
Howard
imagine
might have
so.
spun out.
I imagine so. There were a number of drivers having some significant difficulties with this track. It's a very challenging track. I loved practicing for it. But
Oh, here we see
there we are.
Major
Johnny
again.
Major gets through on Chacon. Chacon either made a mistake or Major maybe bumped him. I don't know which is more
Like a
likely.
mixture of both.
He's
Looks like a
just
Mercedes
one of
off. Is that
the,
Kamandi?
One of the yellow Mercedes off.
Yeah,
That
that
is
was
Zoltan
Kalmandi.
Kalmandi.
Oh,
He
man.
joins the spectator pile.
Kalmandi having another one of those having a terrible race.
Yeah, him and Doug DeGroat. Great. Oh, Toby Howard off there again.
He must have gotten the other Joker in that deck.
Luciano Ichazo still on the tail of the Porsche of Martinez. And Ichazo definitely wants to get past him because Luciano is one of the guys in the fight for the second place spot in the championship. And he would love to get a great result here because a couple of his main rivals are not really anywhere to be found. Paul Riccobeni, of course, down in 15th place. He's had some problems. Dan Box had some problems. So that's definitely opening the door for the big way for Ichazo, and he's going to want to capitalize on that.
Looks like Mauricio Delgado had a bit of an incident. He finds himself down a few spots from where he was just recently.
Looks like he only lost 2 spots. He was behind Greenfield before. He's up in 12th place. He's lost a spot to Cole McCray and to Paul Riccobeni. That could just be pace differential. We know that Paul, in particular, started up at the top 5 and is on a recovery drive. So I wouldn't say that means a tremendous amount. Johnny Major is still ahead of Chacon and definitely wants to stay there. Dan Block, Wesley Stokes. Stokes is the man who's just not really had any pace today, down in 19th place. Disqualification for John Picha, speeding in the pit lane.
Looks like he's been squeezed out.
He has been squeezed out. This is also an interesting track with the double pit lane going on. Only one in use today, but there are 2 separate pit lanes, which is very interesting for a track.
Someone having a really quiet race today? Wayne Hutchison, not seeing much action going on. Perhaps the best for him.
Wayne is always having a quiet race. He just picks his way through, does his thing, and comes out with a really great result in the end.
And here we see Cole McCray engaging in some major weight reduction in the field, getting rid of the whole back half of his car.
He's a leading figure in the diet of the car.
Certainly, I do believe in weight reduction whenever possible. Don't need
You're
that
the
rear end.
Darcy Parkinson of 3D Speed.
Moly Moly still in the tail of Brandon Powell. Mike Magas in the background there in 8th place. Is just a quick amateur update. Martinez is top amateur, followed by Magas. Then Tobin is your podium. Greenfield in 4th, and McCray in 5th.
Tobin, that kid's weird. I think maybe he has strange relationships with ground sloths.
I hear he likes spying on people when they're talking about races.
Kinky.
I mean, that is how you gain the information and move on with your life.
It's the weirdest thing. He bought a bunch of tape deck recorders the other day. I don't know why.
Going old school.
Yeah. There's something
Worst
about
format
government listening
ever.
in on something, and he bought a bunch of tinfoil too.
I do really like that Black Swan Porsche that Moly Moly.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, Mike Magas.
Oh, Magas into the
Oh,
wall.
Magas going round and round.
Talking about swans, somebody just swooped over and fucking beaked it.
Pulled the Jermichael Beekman.
Now Moly is hot on the tail of Brandon Powell.
He's pretty much been there the whole time since Powell overtook him. Be interesting to see how this one goes down to the line. So Magas is seriously damaged. I imagine we'll have to make a pit stop to fix that damage with a little over 11 minutes here to go, almost 12.
It'd be brave of him not to, I imagine. That suspension can't be too happy.
Indeed. Where is he going to come out? I assume Javier Perez Torres made a pit stop as well. That would explain why he's so far behind. So there he goes into the pits.
There he goes, yep.
There you go.
And, I suspect he'll come out somewhere in the vicinity of Javier Perez Torres based on the pit stop.
Yeah, Bilster Berg has a very slow speed limit set on the pit lane, and it's a very long pit lane as a result of that. So, substantial amount of time being lost here.
Moly Moly getting very close there with Brandon Powell. And yes, the low speed limit, of course, again, the nature of the track being less a professional track and more of a clubhouse type of deal, or a country club.
And what a fine country club it is. Still waiting for them to add the driving range.
I thought this was the driving range.
Different kind of driving range.
I'm ashamed that I didn't come up with that first. User has left your channel.
Score.
So Wayne Hutchison up into the top 10 with the demise, or, well, not demise, but significant handicap of Magas' race.
Is handy capable, sir?
Not in this case, no.
Driverly abled?
So, forgive me if you will, but what is the purpose of those little red bollards on the inside of the corners? I imagine they're boundary markers, right?
Targets.
Boundary markers, yeah. I would imagine
interesting.
so.
It's interesting that the game doesn't consider them as so, because I see a lot of people running those over and not any significant penalties or anything incurred.
Magas rejoining behind Moly Moly. That is, of course, not for position. He is down a lap. Indeed, he does rejoin ahead of Javier Perez Torres and behind Dave Walsh, who I don't think is a name we've said really much of the day.
No, I don't think at all. Ooh, Moly getting very close to Powell.
Moly Moly seems very much faster than Powell in that particular section. I just don't know if that really translates to any kind of overtake.
Looks like coming up to behind Toby Howard, so this might be a... Oh, nope, just right on by. Good on Toby for getting out of the way.
Toby is a successful back marker. He knows how to get out of the way.
I'm going to teach you how to get in the way and make them crash.
Going quite slowly, so I wonder if he's still carrying damage that maybe they can't fix in the pit lane.
Certainly possible.
Well, it's usually emotional.
That too. That too.
It wasn't what was said that hurt, it was what was unsaid.
He's got a train coming in here led by Richard Higgs. This is Higgs, Ayrton Tobin, Wayne Hutchison, and Scott Greenfield. And then further back, it's another lapped car of Mike Magas. And then quite a gap back to Cole McCray and Paul Riccobeni. So it'll be interesting when that comes into play as well. Moly Moly still looking for a move. Again, Moly Moly, one of those guys who really would have been in the fight for the second place in the championship, but unfortunately, missed the Monza round, missed the Dubai round, and that's really
That's probably a killer.
his chance, to secure a solid result. Still will be a top 10 driver. So.
You get to know mozzarella, you get to know whole pizza.
Indeed.
I pray there's a pizzeria in your Monza track that makes a mozzarella pizza.
Looks like Ayrton Tobin getting a little frustrated, getting some flash into the headlights there for Richard Higgs.
Get him, put him in the wall.
Which, in fairness, is something that Richard Higgs does a lot of. So fair play.
Maybe it's a callback. Seeing a lot of Moly in this round. But one thing I found interesting is that there are a lot of people taking very different lines from each other in this track. Maybe it's because they didn't get as much practice as each other, but
yeah, I think this is a track where definitely a lot of lacking knowledge of the track.
A lot of variation. Also, a lot of decreasing and increasing radius corners, so it's kind of hard to judge the exit and entrance on those.
That's very true. I don't really think you got to move there, Moly Moly. You might want to hold that up a little bit. Ayrton Tobin flashing. I do believe at this point his ping was kind of doing kind of a swing, where it would go up from about 50 to about 250. So that might be why we are getting a little bit of a blip as far as the video is concerned.
Lag switch engaged.
Moly Moly trying to get in there against Brandon Powell, but nothing going for him yet.
You can kind of feel Moly getting a little bit antsy, wanting to get by Brandon Powell, because you can tell he's a little bit faster, but obviously you got to be a little more than a little bit faster to make a pass on this track.
Well, it's also, you don't want to rush it. I mean, it's not like he's really competing for anything beyond this. Powell's 11 seconds behind Luciano Chazzo's next car.
Well,
so top 5 is not really on the cards, and he's got a decent lead over this fight here. And these guys are fighting, so there's no...
Well, it's true, but my point was more along the lines that you can see him trying to... He makes a peek on a lot of the corners. And
For sure. But I think he needs to identify one good one and go for that, because you want to make this a permanent thing. And what I'm saying is, it's not like there's a guy up the road that you're also trying to catch up with. Because if he has a shot at Ichazo, it's because Ichazo makes some horrendous mistake or something. Not an ability to catch up. Wesley Stokes looks like he's dropped out of the race.
Is that Ayrton Tobin on the gravel there? Looks like it is.
Indeed, and that is Scott Greenfield getting up in there. So Scott Greenfield right now is on reverse grid pole.
High tides and Greenfields forever. I'm not gonna lie, that song goes through my head every single time his name comes up.
Tobin trying to get back at this, currently in 11th place for the Bad Company.
That'll be his top priority, because getting the pole in the next race is definitely going to be an advantage. And I mean, not the biggest advantage ever, but certainly something worth fighting for.
I think a pretty massive advantage with this track. We've been talking about how there's minimal options for overtake and so on. So I think it's definitely a big deal to get that reverse grid pole. So Scott Greenfield in a great spot right now.
Yeah, no kidding.
Although Wayne Hutchison might be a bit of a dark horse there. I mean, 9th place, that would be second on the reverse grid. We know Wayne's got good starts. We know he's a calm, cool, collected driver.
Is the pole as the first place position on the inside? I imagine so, right?
I believe it is.
That's usually how it is, but I know some tracks buck that trend. Ooh, Moly going wide on turn 16, I believe that is. 14.
I don't even know. Don't even know.
Well, I know 12 is the downhill left-hander that's blind. And 17 is the up-hander that's blind. Or the uphiller.
But which one's deaf and which one's mute?
Oh, Toby Howard.
That's Toby Howard off again. I believe we came up with the idea of calling turn 12 the European corkscrew in tribute to Laguna Seca.
It makes sense. I believe it. I consider it to be much more painful.
And Luciano Ichazo was getting a good run there on Martinez, but it doesn't look like he got the job done. Or at least he has. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say he has.
We cut away at a really inopportune time there. No offense to Moly Moly and Pal. Love your battle,
director.
guys, but I would have preferred to see Luciano complete one of the few overtakes we've seen really here today.
So as usual, Mike Stobmill still a distant first place. Arrow Zatoni still following in a distant second, with Simeon Niku rounding out our podium again. Unless something really horrible happens to one of them, there's not really too much hope of that changing anytime soon.
Indeed, but this is a track where terrible, terrible things can happen. There is Guillermo Martinez, who has lost 4th place. Still winning the amateur for this race, but of course, amateur title is already...
Oh, who's that?
That's Leonard Burke.
Leonard
Backwards,
Burke.
the red Corvette of Leonard Burke, facing the wrong way. He is in 20th place, as Dave Walsh overtakes. And Moly Moly off the track there. So, wonder if that was a failed overtake on Richard Higgs. Or no, he's lost a spot to Higgs. Powell was off the track too. I'm thinking Powell and Moly and Powell may have gotten into it there. May have got physical. They are both dropping.
Bow, wow.
Paul Riccobeni on the charge against Cole McCray. This is for 11th place. By the way, Ayrton Tobin now onto reverse grid pole in 10th.
Stoffmill watch. You can't catch him.
Yeah, no, you cannot. In fact, that's grown about 7 seconds over the last couple of laps. So
yeah.
I'd say Tony made another mistake, I think.
I think at that point, if you make a little bit of a mistake, you're probably fine. It's not going to make him much difference.
So there's Moly Moly rejoining in 13th ahead of Johnny Major. So then we'll see how that goes. We'll see if there's any damage to the Porsche.
It looks like Tobin got by Powell, so either there's some team shenanigans going on or he got passed.
And Cole McCray, Paul Riccobeni battling it out here. BMW versus Mercedes. The BMWs are doing reasonably solid. The AC Competizione crew, Zatoni and McCray, 12th or 2nd and 11th. So that's pretty solid.
It's really interesting because most of the logos are either silver or some variation of silver, and so the BMW and the Chevrolet ones kind of stick out.
The Porsche ones do a little bit too.
A little bit. I don't know. When I'm looking at the cars on the in front of me, I really see the BMW.
Riccobeni got McCray for 11th by the looks of it.
Looks like that weight.
And Powell for 10th place.
That was really close between Johnny Major and I believe it was Toby Howard.
Indeed, but now Paul Riccobeni up onto reverse grid pole in that Mercedes.
Oh, so that throws Powell out of the running essentially. So he's going to be in 10th or in 11th starting.
Right now, that appears to be the case. We only got 10 seconds to go, so that would be
and
one more lap.
Riccobeni immediately putting 4 seconds up on Powell. I wonder what happened there. Powell might have gone off.
I believe some insider trading on that. I believe Brandon Powell had miscalculated his fuel and was actually in fuel-saving mode at this point. So,
oh, yeah.
There he is. Cole McCray overtaking him as well. And Johnny Major getting really frustrated with Moly Moly.
Yeah, there we see it happening.
It says, slow Porsche ahead. Go, go, go.
Wide load.
We'll see if Brandon Powell can hold them up while saving fuel. Here comes Moly Moly. They were, of course, battling most of the race, and then we think they had contact. And
that is our checkered flag worth waving.
Is your winner. So Brandon Powell lets them both through.
I'd like to say that it's probably the first time Stoffmill's had a win in any of these series. It's pretty historic.
Yeah, shout out to the underdog. Like, wow. Oh, Moly went off.
Real
Moly
comeback
went up.
from behind.
So Johnny Major finally.
Johnny Major gets another spot. Suddenly this has turned into a pretty decent result for Johnny Major.
Yeah, I was gonna
say. You telling me that the mole buried his head in the sand?
Yes.
He's a mole, not ostrich, Byron.
Yeah, they're both capable of the same thing. Also, ostriches can't do that.
Is that true? I know stereotype that they can.
They cannot. You know what ostriches are going to do? They're going to try and run away as fast as they possibly can, a la Mike Stoffmill. And if you keep fucking with them, they're gonna turn around and they're gonna punch their goddamn toenails up into your heart.
Just put a hole in you with their foot.
Uh-huh. And if you want something even more terrifying than that, look up the cassowary.
I cannot because I don't know how to spell that.
Don't worry about it. I'll tell you what it is. It also lives in Australia. Wait, ostriches live in Africa. Yeah. So
like,
picture...
another spot lost by Brandon Powell. Mauricio Delgado getting a freebie.
He's lost a ton of speed. I think he might be out of fuel.
Alfonso Chacon going through.
Oh, Brandon Powell. Oh, that's tragic.
Paul Riccobeni and I were swapping animal stories, and I've since terrified him with some damn nature, you scary type stuff. So Paul, if you're watching this, you should 100% look up the cassowary. Cassowary is like 5.5 feet tall, maybe 6 feet tall. It's got a big ass bony crest on the top of its skull, so it can use to like bludgeon undergrowth out of the way because it lives in jungles, and just like runs through jungles head first, and has giant claws on its feet. And if you fuck with it, it will just stab you right in the heart.
Sounds all like my last ex-girlfriend.
There you go. Probably has the same makeup as well. Hold on, I'll find a picture.
I'll look it up. Maybe it looks the same. I still don't know how to spell that.
It's cool. I got a picture incoming.
Okay. Look forward to that ruining the recording.
Oh, that'll be perfect.
Bit of a disappointment, of course, is that Brandon Powell ran out of gas there and lost some spots that he probably shouldn't have, just because of how Race Room handles DNFs.
There you go.
A problem.
I have a feeling that looks exactly
my God,
like your girlfriend.
3 cars have not joined us, and we're off.
It's like a turkey, but an alien. All right, okay.
Our grid is shrunk by 3 cars. Not sure who they are.
Oh my gosh, it's chaos. Oh, Zatoni's backwards. Oh no.
So Paul Riccobeni gets off to the start ahead of Ayrton Tobin and Scott Greenfield. So 2 members of the Black Sheep up front. Guillermo Martinez. Then we got Richard Higgs. Wayne Hutchison. Not a good start for him.
This bird looks like it has a giant tooth on top of its head.
It does. It is the narwhal of birds.
Getting some lag issues, so they're definitely not quite sure where Wayne Hutchison actually is.
He's right behind you.
He's swapping between 6th and 9th.
He's coming from inside the house.
Yeah. He's practicing becoming incorporeal.
Correct.
Indeed, Mike Stoppmill up to 8th place off the start. He overtook Zatoni because of Zatoni's spin, and Chazo got off to a bad start. He's back in 10th.
I imagine any stop is a bad stop, Mike.
Start. Pardon me.
I know, I'm just messing with you.
Stoppmill on the tail of Simeon Niku. Richard Higgs in that mix as well. And just trying to see if anyone's on a charge. Doug DeGroot's on a charge. He started 25th, I think is up to 18th, so plus 7 spots already.
Good move.
Start there. He was, of course, disqualified in race 1 along with John Picha. John Picha is one of the cars we're missing. Also missing Dixon Hurst. And the third one is...
Paul Riccobeni.
No, Paul Riccobeni.
Paul Riccobeni is at the first place.
Ayrton Tobin.
Now you're reading the names.
I am indeed. I'm just Scott Greenfield.
Let's wait until Mike catches on.
I've already caught on.
No, you didn't.
I just don't discourage him because I know there's no point.
That's fair enough.
See, it's my turn to do the top 10 now. Maybe we're missing Gilberto Martinez.
What are you, Blotto from friggin' Star Wars?
Perhaps.
Or Watto, my bad.
I don't have a clue.
The insect man elephant thing.
Watto.
Oh, yeah. The fucking elephant imp thing guy. Yeah, maybe.
Guillermo Martinez all over the back end of Scott Greenfield. He is going for it.
Ooh, Wayne Hutchison.
Wayne Hutchison
getting passed by Staff.
Like, yeah.
Whoa. Johnny Major wanting to look.
Whoa.
Sorry, I'm practicing for my live dubstep concert.
Oh, I thought you were doing a Zack Ryder impersonation.
That too. It's going to be uploaded to SoundCloud next Thursday.
Looks like Tobin's got a bit of a lag switch going on there as his car is fading in and out of existence, becoming non-corporeal.
He must be taking lessons from Wayne.
I thought that Wayne, I don't think was actually going incorporeal. I think it was having a hard time synchronizing his position for some reason.
So he became one of those multi-tools that like vibrates really fast and cuts through anything.
Yes.
Cool. Sounds like a plot to an anime film.
Top 10 anime betrayals.
Probably is. By the way, I think Zoltan Kalmandi is retired. So the day of Zoltan Kalmandi continues to be.
Who was that sideways?
That was,
everybody.
Moly Moly by the looks of it.
Well, Moly looks fine. It looked like a Mercedes, but maybe I was incorrect.
Well, it could have been Kalmandi. He's a Mercedes and has dropped out of the race.
Who knows? I could have just had a stroke.
Stop Mill up to 6th place on the tail of Richard Higgs. He's already done one Project Zorin. Now he's got to do the other one.
Ooh, Dan Bach down to 21st place. Did he start that low down?
He started pretty low, but I think it was a little higher than that.
Earls Tony making his way through the ranks.
Well, we know he's got speed from race 1, finished 2nd place. Mike Stopmill going around the outside of Richard Higgs.
Turn 17, that is bold, but he made it work.
I wonder if that's just Higgs making a mistake, because I don't even think that's really him going for it.
Yeah, it could have been.
Next on his list is Scott Greenfield, who's lost 3rd place to Guillermo Martinez.
Who wants to place bets? I'm betting that at the end of this championship, Mike Stoffmeal pulls off his mask and reveals he's actually like an automaton. Just like a clockwork man.
No, see, he has fears and hopes and dreams.
Or he tells you he has fears and hopes and dreams. Come on,
he's
Mike.
also afraid of about 100-pound girl, so that's more amusing.
That's just what he wants you to think, man. Chemtrails.
Stavmill reveals that he is Michael Schumacher's consciousness uploaded to a computer.
That would be intriguing.
And very scary.
Why would that be scary? I think of all the things we've discussed, that's actually the least scary.
Probably.
Whoa, Scott Greenfield turned around.
Whoa, big hugs, big hugs.
Big hugs.
Simeon Naku overtakes Richard Higgs in the mix, as does Luciano Ichazo. Well, it was more. I think he lost it on his own. So that's Higgs, I believe, is without blame on that particular one. And Greenfield has recovered.
But he did give Greenfield a hug.
Well, Greenfield has recovered to 8th place actually, so he's still in the mix here with Hutchison and Cole McCray rounding off the top 10. Bad day for Mauricio Delgado so far. Had a pretty decent race 1, down in 21st place now, so he's having a hard time. And Mike Stopmill, who will be next? Next up on the list is Ayrton Tobin, who appears to have made a mistake because he's lost 2nd place to Martinez and has dropped quite a ways back, so I imagine the error was significant.
Must have been. Oh yeah, putting him no resistance. I almost have to eat my words immediately. Yep. There we go. Yeah, the universe is in balance again.
So that is
universe seems a little
Porsche Audi on the podium.
The universe is watching the race. Does a spit take when Mike Stoffmill's in 3rd place? That's not how I planned this.
Nah, it's a reverse grid. It takes him a while.
I know. Oh, maybe it was the deal he made with Satan.
He's got that 54 kilos of ballast, so I mean, it's downright embarrassing.
Oh, that explains why he's so fast, because that 54 kilos is actually cocaine. He's just doing it over the course of the race. Oh, you fool! You've been giving him power.
Yeah, can I get that ballast in white powder?
Yeah, I can
literally a 54 kilogram crack rock.
Idiots. We've been giving him fuel.
Simeon Naku up on the tail of Tobin. I think Tobin's got some damage, I think, because he is
Ooh. What,
not
is that
regaining speed. That's Toby Howard.
Yeah.
He is the only surviving 3 Amigo. No Dixon Hurst, no John Peacham.
The only surviving 3
Solo amigo.
He is the 1 Amigo. The
Uno
Amigo.
Oh, that's
amigo.
just sad.
Still not sure who our other non-starter was, actually. Still trying to puzzle that out. Simeon
I meant to
Naku
take a
looking
screenshot
for-
of the qualifying results, but I forgot. Rip.
I know we've lost 2 of the Amigos, Dixon Hurst and John Peacham, but I'm not sure who the third one we lost was.
Of the 3 Amigos?
It was me.
No.
It was
there's
Byron, yes.
There's a third person not starting the race who partook in race 1.
Oh, okay.
We went from 28 cars to 25 cars. I think it's... Oh, it's Wesley Stokes! There we go. That's who's missing.
What a quitter.
Simeon Naku hot on the tail of Ayrton Tobin, 4th place. Although he
Luciano
is...
Ichazo in the mix.
I was just going to say, yeah. Everyone's hot on everyone's tail.
Except for Paul Riccobeni, who is way out in front.
Yeah, he's out of here. I wonder if Stoffmeal can... Well, there's only 5 minutes. I was just going to say.
Riccobeni's probably still terrified of that Lynx video I showed him the other day.
Guillermo Martinez holding up Stoffmeal pretty decently.
Guillermo's always a pretty solid defensive driver, so this will be interesting.
Yeah, combined with this track's pretty crappy amount of overtaking positions, he might be able to hold Stoffmeal off for this 5 minutes. There's only like 4 laps.
And Ayrton Tobin doing his best impersonation of the Callaway gatekeeper with 3 Corvettes.
I like it.
I don't think that there's really any way to get through there. But
No, not at all.
Keeping the pressure on. Credit to Leonard Burke, who we've not seen, but he's made his way up to 12th place, having a really solid run. I think he finished 19th in race 1, so pretty good work. Brandon Powell, having a nice rebound. 13th spot.
Mike Stoffmeal putting that Pentium 4 processor he has for a brain to good use.
I might have jinxed Leonard Burke because he's just dropped down to 14th place.
Oh no! God damn it, Mike.
But you were saying the Corvettes might struggle here. I don't know. All 4 Corvettes have done pretty well. So,
Well, like you say, I did everyone else in there. I gave the Corvettes the luck power.
Indeed.
I reverse jinxed them.
Although the Corvettes right now would really like past Ayrton Tobin.
Ayrton Tobin having a nice slide. I'm kind of surprised he's able to hold them up so hard on this straight, especially. In past races, those portions have just gotten eaten up by Corvettes.
Well, Naku is carrying some ballast, as is Ichazo, so maybe that's
Oh, that makes sense.
Although Naku is not hanging a
a
lot.
run.
I think he's only got like 5 kilos.
Getting a run.
Let's see what
There's
he
not
can
gonna
do.
be enough.
Meantime, Stop Mill still being held up by Martinez.
With,
They're not losing too much ground to Riccobeni either, so Martinez has got some very legitimate speed.
3 more laps. The average lap time is
You
about
can do it.
136 or so, 137. So
Say probably 137. Yeah.
And with this first place finish, Paul Riccobeni will win every championship.
Brandon Powell is
Riccobeni
dropping like an anchor.
oh yeah, down to
Something
20th
has
place.
happened to the bad company Porsche.
Terrible. Yeah, I was gonna say terrible run for bad company in that instance.
Indeed, outside of Tobin, they've not had much to cheer about.
Oh, Stop Mill going around the outside of turn 12.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that.
Yeah, that is a terrible idea. And he backs off quite wisely.
That is about as close to a non-overtaking zone as I've ever been tempted to call outside of like the Macau hairpin. Just don't even try it. Just don't even.
Are you crazy? Naku's still hot on Ayrton Tobin.
Well, it looks like Powell's out officially, so whatever's happened appears to have been terminal.
Might have had a wreck of some sort. Or must have really.
Or a brain tumor.
Ariel Zatoni now up into 13th place, making his way through the ranks.
Cole McCray next on his list.
Oh, looks like McCray had some problems.
Cole McCray flying backwards.
I guess Zatoni must have just had enough of his teammate, took him out.
Could be. Could
No,
be.
not at all. I don't mean to imply that, Ariel. I love you.
Luciano Chazo's losing some ground here to the battle between Naku and Tobin, and now has to worry more about the...
Is that
Mike Stopmill?
Stopmill spun.
Stopmill spun?
Could it be?
Tobin back onto the podium.
Nani? Oh, is that Richard Higgs?
That was Luciano Chazo a little bit off the track.
No, I think it was
Stopmill
Higgs.
getting past.
Oh my, off the track.
Nani?
Richard Higgs on the tail of Luciano Chazo. Meantime, Simeon Naku promoted to 4th place, so potential double podium here for Naku if he can get around Tobin. But he's been trying to get around Tobin for some time.
It almost sounded like you said round robin. Oh, Tobin's going off the track a little bit. Oh, ruining his run up to the chicane, but Naku is just not able to pass there.
Just ruined Naku. He ruined Naku's run though too. So
Stopmill is right there. Oh,
Stopmill
Tobin going wide again. Oh, this is a very tight battle. They'll have one more lap to go after this. Can Tobin hold off both Naku and Stopmill? Moreover, can Stopmill make it past Naku or Tobin?
I mean, I always feel good about betting on Mike Stopmill.
I mean, in these close quarters, though,
whatever caused the spin doesn't appear to have affected the pace of the car, so it is still absolutely there.
Oh,
in fact, there he goes forward on Naku.
Yep,
he's got it.
Naku giving a little bump on the end there.
Now let's see if he can show him how it's done against the Porsche of Ayrton Tobin.
So can Tobin have this podium and eat it too? Mike Stopmill creeping slowly and inexorably up like the inevitable rise of tooth decay.
Oh, snap.
Okay.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Not wrong, I suppose.
Or will Ayrton get a dentist?
I'm gonna brush you off.
Ayrton blew it!
Oh, the commentator's curse.
Ayrton Tobin folds like a deck of cards made without cards.
Ayrton, I suggest you get a new dental appointment immediately.
Cracked under the pressure. We'll see if he can hold off Ichazo.
Oh,
the answer appears to be no.
Wow, we're not being kind with the curse, are we today? We have to control our powers, gentlemen.
I mean, there's only so long you can resist the collective might of Team Corvette.
It's true.
I only use my powers for self-amusement.
On the heel of Mike Jeffries.
Mike Jeffries having a quietly good race as well, actually. Had a pretty disastrous race 1.
Not really that many passing opportunities between here and there, but looks like he has the pace. So Zatoni going way wide trying to get the undercut, but it's not going to happen. There's just too much Audi in the way.
Yeah. Flash in the headlights, either in celebration or frustration. Don't know which. Could be celebration.
Very stylish spin out there.
Douglas DeGroat makes it to the end this time in 15th place, and there is Alfonso Chacon. And a spin out for Cole McCray at the end.
What a drunk.
There to Johnny Major. Whatever happened to Johnny Major?
That is not a happy BMW.
Had a pretty decent qualifying effort. It looked like he was running pretty high, but 20th place is appears like that'll be his fate.
All right, Cole, be honest. How drunk were you at this point in the race?
I was drunk on Fury. How's that?
That's an adequate explanation.
Yeah. I honestly... Sorry.
Dave Walsh doing what he always does, bringing home a point-scoring result for the VIP team.
If I remember right, I hit one of those sausage curbs and just tinked my suspension a little bit, but it really affected my steering and happens.
I could see that being a thing. I would recommend keeping it between the lines next time there, big boy.
Paul Riccobeni finishes the season off with a victory from Guillermo Martinez, Mike Stockmill, Simeon Nuku, Luciano Echazo, Ayrton Tobin, Richard Higgs, Wayne Hutchison, and Scott Greenfield.
I'd like to say this is one of the few times that I have seen Stockmill not win and also not have fastest lap.
Oh,
Indeed,
yeah.
Paul Riccobeni
Wow.
getting it.
Pablo Ricardo Bongo, OPOP.
Your amateur podium, Martinez, Tobin, and Greenfield. Scott Greenfield with the podium. Nice.
And high tides forever.
I will give everyone a quick rundown of the pre-penalties final results. So any penalties may affect these, of course, for the season. And that is Mike Stockmill, your winner with 1,013 points ahead of Luciano Echazo, who got second place on 604. Guillermo Martinez, not only your amateur champion, but on the overall podium with 550. Simeon Nuku, 520. And Paul Riccobeni, 515. Rounding off the top 10, we got Moly Moly, Dan Bach, Richard Higgs, Wayne Hutchison, and Ariel Zatoni. Should be mentioned that Richard Higgs gets the dubious honor of being the highest rated driver to not get a podium all season. So that's always interesting. Taking home 8th place. Best result was a 5th place at Hockenheim. And in the team's championship, your winners are the MMR Land Crew with 1,331 points. Project Zora 938, 920 for Bad Company, and rounding off the top 10, Black Sheep Racing, and Cabrons, which is the Guillermo Martinez, Alfonso Chacon, Daniel Hernandez combination. And that is the season. We'll be heading into the next round or the next season in probably about a month. Although with this whole quarantine thing, we might step that up because, hey, we ain't got nothing better to do.
I would argue there's nothing better to do anyway.
All right, so Byron and Cole, do you have any final thoughts for the 3D Speed season and this round as a whole?
Like, comment, and wash your damn hands, you filthy perverts.
We have a request from the Pigeon Gallery for the amateur standings.
Ayrton Tobin dead last because of disqualification immediately.
I will
abuse of the chat function. Can we fire him from a job he doesn't have?
I thought you were supposed to be the ghost of Christmas past, not the ghost of Christmas. Fucking annoying bastard.
Your amateur winner with an absolutely
Probably.
dominant display of 485 points is Guillermo Martinez.
Very nice.
Second place, Ayrton Tobin on 315. Michael Magas in third on 313. 241 for Scott Greenfield and 205 for Dave Walsh.
Very nice.
Again, Dave Walsh, really consistent, scored points in every race. I think that may actually be the only amateur driver to be able to say that.
Dave Walsh comes in weight.
Rounding off the top 10, Alfonso Chacon, Zoltan Calmonti, Rick Martel, Cole McCray, and Mauricio Delgado. Again, these are all pending penalties for the final round.
I heard Ayrton got so many penalties in that last race that he's lucky to be still in the circuit.
Mike, how much would it cost to bribe you to give him so many penalties that he technically didn't finish?
Well, I mean, I can't make it so he technically didn't finish. I can bring his stats to a minus.
I would like that.
But
I'll send you muffins.
Is the best I can do. No, I do not abuse my powers. Believe me, I went through his race looking for a penalty. Not gonna lie.
So you did abuse your powers, just not hard enough. Got it.
That's not abuse of powers. Anyone can go through the race replay and try and find a penalty.
I can hear your rationalization going on, Mike. It's not working.
Exercising due diligence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Whatever helps you sleep at night, Mike.
But the only thing that I might be able to catch him for is maybe some kind of blocking infringement. But we'll see.
Hey, I mean, I'll just say it. I gave you the opportunity, man. Like I had my wallet out. Hey, I never said I wasn't corrupt.
Yeah, I don't think anyone suggested that you weren't corrupt.
Just making sure.
Anyways, that is all from Bilster Berg, and on behalf of my comrades here, good season. Hopefully, hope to see you next season. And remember, we got the ACC finale coming up in a little bit over a week time.
Looking forward to that one.
Week this Sunday. We've got enduro action this Saturday, multi-class action from Red Bull Ring. That's going to be fun. That's going to be really fun.
With fun and giant air quotes.
Also, we got the Academy race at the Circuit Zandvoort. So that'll also be pretty fun. So
yeah,
busy times.
Thanks for making it a great season, everyone. Greatly appreciate it.
All right. That's all.